Ride one time for your mind. Ride one time for your mind.
What's going on?
Ride one time for your mind.
What's going on, faithful? It is your boy, and welcome to the new and improved The Coach's Huddle. New show, new name of the channel, and today we got our annual, or not our annual, but our weekly call-in show. I want to hear from the fans. I'm excited today because we got the Tennessee Titans today, which is our first preseason game. This is be the first time that the fans get a chance to lay their eyes on on the team, and to see exactly what they can do. And that's really what I just want to hear from you guys. I want to hear about your predictions about this game coming up. Who do we want to see? What rookies are you going to be paying attention to? What depth you're going to be paying attention to? Just trying to figure out how you feel about the team thus far. Looking at our first time seeing the boys was against Oakland. Las Vegas, the Raiders. Then they ran through us, all over us. And that was a game that was definitely something where it was like it was a precursor to some of the things that we would see later on in the season with tougher teams. But what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to see with the Tennessee Titans today? What new wrinkles are you going to be looking for with our defense? Are we going to be able to see a little bit of what Brandon Staley can bring to our new look defense as far as the simulated pressures? Are we going to be starting to see a little bit? Are we going to see starters tonight? On both sides of the ball. How is our offense going to look? Without Trent or Brandon Aiyuk, is Kyle even going to bring out the first team unit? We got to see who's going to play tonight. Is Jordan Mason going to get a lot of love? What are we going to do out of our backs thus far? Are we going to be able to see some of these new UDFAs on the offensive line that we got coming up? What is Drake Nugent going to do at center, right? How are we going to see Nick Zakelj? Nick Zakelj played a lot. We're going to see a lot of Nick Zakelj tonight, due to how many times he was in on team up and down all phases of the offense. So I saw Nick Zakelj play offensive line. He played center and a little bit of guard with first team. He played center and a little bit of guard with second and third team as well. So I would be surprised if we didn't see Nick Zakelj tonight. Just being able to just understand who's going to be able to step up for us, right? As far as the running back room, we know Jordan Mason is our de facto number 2. Elijah Mitchell is kind of down with a bad wing. Are we going to see a little bit of Matt Breida tonight? Are we going to see Patrick Taylor? Any of Cody Schrader? See what Cody Schrader can do with the running back position. This is somebody who, Cody Schrader, I'm going to tell you, man, the time that I spent at camp this year with Cody Schrader, he was definitely somebody who I see that the Niners can't hide. They're going to have to bring him up and give him an absolute role on this team, whether it be in special teams or whether they find a way to actually keep him on the team, man. Right now, bringing my first guest, we got my man Will. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. What you got for me today, bro?
Hey, ain't much. First, I want to give off a shout out to you, bro, for bringing the DMV to life in these chats.
Thank you,
So
bro.
I live here in DC myself. I coach you football, but I'm an IT specialist by trade.
Same here. We all got this like this. So who you coach for? Number who? You coach for number 11? Who you coach for?
Actually, I'm coaching right now out Virginia for Annandale Bulldogs.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just started camp this past week. So looking forward to a good season. We went to the semifinals last year, but we got unfinished business.
Yeah, hey man, handle your business, bro. Handle your business, bro.
Hopefully, hopefully we can run into each other at a game or something sometime.
Hell yeah. I was at the Commanders game last year. I think I'm gonna go to. I know for sure I'm going to the Tampa game, so I'll be at the Tampa game.
Yeah, I was hoping to make the Commanders game, but the agency I work for just split into two agencies, so it's just been hella work. It's just been
I ain't
hella.
mad at you. I'm gonna switch you over real quick, bro. Yeah, much better. So let's go
Okay.
ahead, man.
I actually just got back from Baltimore and I was watching your live stream with Kruger.
Okay.
Um, and I watched on the way out there your stream with Grant.
Okay.
And I was listening to what y'all had to say, and I know it's like a dream of mine to go to a 49ers training camp one day. I got to get over there. Um, but my thing is with this whole Brandon Ayuk thing, it seems more just personal.
Mm.
I just chatted back to a person who was like, "Oh, this money is just a couple $1 million," and I try to tell people these are billionaires who make not just money off of the player, but they make money off of merchandising, this putting bodies in seats. It's so much money that they recoup. So, and I listened to uh, the what was it? The radio interview with Kuzman Zada. I hope I ain't murder his
Yeah,
name.
TJ Hushmanzada. Yeah.
And he's definitely right. People keep trying to say it's about money. If it was about money, you could have been a patriot right now. From
Mm-hmm.
what Kuzman Zada said, they offered him more than $32 million.
Yeah,
You
it
feel?
ain't about money.
It's not about money. It's just funny to me that this is going on with IU, who has been to me, and everyone has the right to feel how they feel. But Aiyuk has been nothing but a pro to me since the day he was drafted.
Right.
When we went through the season of everyone getting hurt and all of that, who took over Debo Rowe?
BA.
Aiyuk. He
Yeah.
was he blocks and coach, you know, like I know, it's hard to get people certain players to do certain roles. Like, man, when you look at those, like you said, Ayuk was blocking like 20 yards down the field. Most
Yeah.
players like, I'm not even in the play.
Yeah.
And this man is blocking and blocking with ferocity.
Mm.
So I just don't understand why they don't want to get that man. And thing is, he's not even asking for the 30. If from what I'm hearing from Huzman's out, he's asking for like 28. He's like, meet me in the middle. I want to be
The
at
cat's
like,
out the bag, man. I think I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get up Lewis. I know Lewis is right up. I'm gonna get to
uh,
Lewis in a little bit, but this is the cat's out the bag as far as I'm concerned. For the longest, Parag has been the scapegoat when it comes to contract negotiate, right? Where it's always up to Parag. It's this nameless, faceless guy with a weird name that nobody knows that we can all just, shake our fist at and say, it's Parag. And the facts are is that he's a numbers guy, bro. He don't got nothing to do with
it's Kai.
negotiating them contracts. It's Kyle. All right. And what happens is that John hides behind the organization, which is Parag, and they try to make it seem as though that Kyle has nothing to do with contract negotiations. And then all of a sudden, Kyle comes in the 11th hour and he's Captain Save-A-Ho. He comes in, he capes, and then all is well. And then some of the players like Debo and Trent and maybe some of these guys, they believe it. Some of these guys probably say, man, hey, Kyle, man, you need to get over here and talk to these guys. But all along, I think Brandon is pretty much one of the first guys to move with negotiations. Like, I don't give a hell I don't care what John say. I don't care what Parag has to say. This has always been about me and you, bruh. This has always been about me and you. And I think this is the biggest problem where I keep saying that this ain't about money. This is about how Brandon Aiyuk wants to be respected on this team and the money that he thinks he deserves based off of how Kyle gives money to other players based on what they do. And
Um,
Brandon is probably looking at Kyle and saying, I do way more than what some of these cats are doing on this team that are your pets. And you gonna pay like you weigh. You ain't gonna give me less than what they do. And that's what I feel like the beef is.
I'm gonna end it with this because I know there's a lot of people
Yeah.
in the chat and want to talk. I'm gonna say it like this. You said it right earlier, where you said Ayuk is one of those real dudes who just not for the bull
He's not
job.
impressed by Kyle.
He's not. And the thing that kills me is, how can I put it? Is that he's like, just like you said, he's like Ward in them. They like, look, I'm a grown man. I don't need you to pat me on the head and tell me I'm special. I know I'm special because I'm here.
Period.
What can you do for me? I've done everything you've asked me and help carry. See, the thing that always kills me is some of the fan base and will they love when you doing and catching balls and doing this, and he ain't saying nothing. But then the moment it comes down to this man getting paid and doing for his family, oh, you're crying.
It's a problem.
I tell people, if you were at your job and your boss was playing with you like this, how would you feel?
Hey man, we all know the answer, but I'm gonna close with that, bro. We gonna get Lewis in here. Lewis, you ready for me, dog? Hey, Will, awesome. Call again, bro.
No problem. Keep it up, babe.
All right, bro. Thank you, man. You ready for me, Lewis? My guy, what's good?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Nice to finally be on your show, man.
What's good, man? Good to finally have you, man. What's good, man? I mean, what you walking?
Nothing, just yeah. I'm taking my daughters on a nice little walk.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Oh, he
doing?
got the babies. The
Yep,
babies.
yep. My twins right here. They said they ready for some football today.
Oh man, you got some beautiful girls, man.
Thank you, brother. I got three of them. These are just my twins.
Jesus, man. You about to start running up to run and shoot, man. Y'all can just run fives in a little bit.
Yeah, I just need two more, and I got a female basketball team.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I just wanted to get some topics off real quick, man. Hey, I wanted to get your opinion on what you thought TJ Husmanzada said on the radio on the radio. What you think?
All right, so one thing I got to do, I got to give a shout out to my boy Jesse because he's the one who actually like put me on. He's like, man, you need to listen to this. So I heard most of it. I didn't hear it all, but one thing is for sure. Two things is for certain. I'm gonna keep it tall with you, bruh. A lot of what TJ Hushmanzada had to say was probably a lot of what him and Brandon talk about.
For
Um,
sure, I could guarantee that.
yeah, like so. Let's get specific. TJ Hushmanzada basically went through Kyle Shanahan's entire like career as a coach. He said, you know, he probably should have 2 Super Bowls as a head coach.
Three,
He three.
including Atlanta.
Yeah, including
I
Atlanta.
heard
That's
I
why I was
heard
gonna
that.
go there. He should have 2 as a head coach, at least 1 as a coordinator. Um, he doesn't know how to utilize the running game when he needs to. He should have been handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey instead of trying to force feed the ball to Debo. And if he really wanted to get the deal done, he could have signed Brandon way earlier, and Brandon would have took the deal at 26. He would have took it,
Yeah,
and they
yeah, but
waited
look,
too long.
that's what happens when our organization they what you call it they procrastinate, brother. I have
Talk
no
to
clue
me.
why they procrastinate. I have no clue why,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it. I believe honestly, I think the deal is gonna get done because of Kyle. I think
Yeah,
Kyle finally realizes. I think Kyle finally realizes that I can't. That his offense wasn't really good enough, and he knows he needs Brandon.
he
Simple.
knows.
He knows he can't get it. Excuse my French, but he can't get his head out of his ass.
Nah, talk
He
about
really
it.
can't. He really can't, brother. Because Kyle's okay. I have been very critical of Kyle, but he has led this organization, brother, to multiple championships and Super Bowls with the Niners,
Yeah.
bro.
Yes.
There's no other team that has been consistent like us, like for real.
Yeah.
There really hasn't. And I feel it. I honestly, brother, I feel like this year it might be it because he knows that this is the last year.
All right. So
And like
so
and
so
what I
we were
also know
talking.
is if we do pay if my bad if we
No,
do
no,
pay
no. Go,
Brandon
go, go,
Ayuk, that
go.
means if we do pay Ayuk, brother, I think Debo's gonna be gone. But there's a possibility. We all know that Debo is Kyle's favorite. We all know that.
That's his dog.
He's obviously versatile, and that's why we also love Debo because he could do many things on the offense, which I appreciate that shit. He's
Mm-hmm.
a menace on that field. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, I don't know. I would really like BA because he obviously is a true number one wide receiver, bro. There ain't nobody that's such a dog like Aiyuk. Like I'm gonna tell you, man. He woo, shit. If it's anyone, bro, that like any wide receiver that wants to look up to a wide receiver is Brandon Aiyuk. That dude
Respect.
got that dog in him, bro. He's over here. I just wish I could have seen him at training camp go against that defense. I wanted to see him go against Fred Warner again like they did last year.
That's
That
what
would
I'm
have been
saying.
crazy.
Like, and the difference between that's why we're a little concerned about the team because I had Jesse with me in camp, and I just asked him. I said, "Man,
Yeah, no,
now
I
that
saw
we're
that. Hey, you
done,
guys did your thing, man.
thank you,
I
bro.
was watching
Thank
that.
you,
You guys were doing your thing.
thank you, bro." But I asked him. I said, "Man, what was the biggest difference between this year and last year?" And Jesse told me the energy. He's like, the energy is clearly different this
Oh,
year. It's not. They're not as excited to
yeah.
be out
And you
there.
know
The
why? Because
practices were
BA's
flat.
not there.
Yeah, but hey,
Because BA's not there.
hey, Tyler, I'm gonna get Tyler up now, man. Man, it was awesome
Oh
talking to
yeah.
you. Call back, bro. I'm doing this every weekend, bro. And we're gonna do this every weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most def, man. I'll see you again, brother. I'll be
All right,
here.
bro.
I'll be
No
here.
problem, bro. All right, I'm gonna get you up and then I'm gonna get you up afterwards, Nick. My guy, what's good?
How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Talk to me, man. What you got for me?
Honestly, Coach, I don't have the same vibes as we did last year.
Okay. Okay. How so?
I don't feel confident in any positions.
None?
Zero.
Let's walk through it. Was gonna save quarterback for last. We understand that that's the atomic bomb. So let's just start with all right, let's get a little controversial. I thought that the best unit of camp this year that I saw was the secondary. What worries you about the secondary?
Well, it's not even that. It's more of the fact that this team knows that last year was its opportunity,
Okay. Yeah.
and
I agree with
and the
that.
and the fact that it lost the most important game again. It's kind of like, okay, no matter how much investment we put in, we can't get the job done when it matters the most.
Okay. So what are you sorry, you saying that we have a coaching issue? Like what are you saying what's the issue? Because right now you're basically saying that we intrinsically are a broken team. So do you feel like we've healed from last year? Do we feel like we have closure from last year or we're
No,
still
not at
wearing it?
all. We're still wearing it.
Okay. All right. So if we're still wearing it and how do you feel like that's going to show itself moving forward in the season? What are some of the things that you think are going to be misnomers that are going to be able to point to that?
For one, we still haven't fixed our most important problem, the
Which
offensive
is
line.
okay. You're coming in with bangers right now, bro. You're coming in here with bangers, Tyler. All right. So we haven't fixed the offensive line. Let's go.
We still didn't fix our biggest problem on defense, which was stopping the run last year.
Talk about it. Let's go.
We didn't invest in a defensive line at the defensive tackle other than Javon Hargrave, who couldn't stop the run at all.
It's another shot, dog. Okay. So I'll tell you this. This year's defense is going to be huge when it comes to interior defensive line. We got to see if Malik Collins or Jordan Elliott or
Yep.
Evan Anderson, if he makes the team, or Shakir Brown. We got to see what the Niners are going to do to replicate the interior of the defensive line to be able to stop the run. I'm not as
Mm-hmm.
worried about linebacker as I was before. Devondre Campbell he's an imperfect vessel, but he's not bad.
Yeah, he ain't bad, but
Yeah, he's not bad, but he ain't Dre either. Let's keep it tall. He ain't Dre Greenlaw
mm-hmm.
either. So, looking at the interior of the defense is really gonna be incumbent upon the success of this defense, and then also the interior of the offensive line. I mean, I want to say that the offensive line really gave me pause for concern, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a dishonest broker if I didn't also highlight the fact that Spencer Burford didn't play. Jake Brindle was coming off of like injury. He really wasn't himself. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing about our offensive line outside of Trent, because that's huge,
Mm-hmm.
is Aaron Banks is quietly having one of the worst camps of
So
all the players on this offense. Like that,
so
people are not
again, that's proving
recognizing
my
that.
point.
Yeah.
And
Um.
and the other thing that really another reason why I'm saying this is because this team is dominated by the people that go to Cabo, and what have they done at practice?
Yeah. The.
Trent's not there, and Christian's injured.
Mm-hmm.
Debo is a Debo at
Right.
receiver, so it's uh, I Fred can only do so much at linebacker. So, like, what can you do at that point? George can only do so much at tight end. I I
All
Kyle has to
right. So
change.
you've gotten out all of your grievances.
Yeah.
I want you to give me, before you roll out, I want you to give me 30 seconds of why you have optimism about the season coming in. You came in with zero. You gotta give me something, Tyler. Don't take off the glasses. You gotta give me something, Tyler. Tell me. I need
Okay.
30 seconds of optimism.
Well,
Because you
I'll
know
say
what? I don't
this.
know whether you know this or not, but I tend to some people tell me that I'm a little bit of ABM. I get a little bit of angry black man. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Some people tend to throw that on me.
Hmm.
So I need 30 seconds of optimism. What you got for me?
Well, I am an optimistic person, so I will say Brock Purdy is doing fantastic.
Okay.
So he's making everyone else's jobs a lot easier. But everyone else is like Brock can only do so much.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, look, it was real. Nick, I'm about to get you up here. Tyler, man, call back every week, man. Love the conversation, bro. Thank you, man.
Respect.
Respect, bro. You ready for me, Nick? What's good, boy?
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Talk to me, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I just got a couple things. By the way, love your content. Been following you since you started, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That really means a lot. Seriously.
Yeah, no problem. So with the Aiyuk thing, to me, him and Kyle, yeah, the relationship's a little fractured, but is it more about the relationship or is it Kyle thinking to himself, if I give Brandon 28, 29 million, am I gonna get my ROI on his contract? Because we don't throw enough.
Well, I mean, I think that first of all, I love where you're going, right? I love the direction of your question. I think that it's not the return on investment, but it's am I going to get pigeonholed into having to make this work? I think one of Kyle's biggest blunders as a coach is that he dictates to the players that he coaches, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Most good coaches have players that they can say, imagine, would we know what Patrick Mahomes is if he had an overbearing coach? No. Would we ever get to know? Like we talk about Brock, but Brock is the best thing that's ever happened for Kyle because
Oh,
he was ready
yeah.
made, he's already developed, he comes with his own skill set, and all he has to do is get dictated to. Kyle doesn't have the stomach. We never know who Josh Allen was if he came across the Shanahan, right? Because he would not get the 3 years that he needed to be able to mess around and be bad, quite frankly, in the offense
Yeah.
and to grow. I feel like the same way with Kyle works when he's trying to pay players and get their skill set. It's not the fact that Kyle doesn't think that Brandon is worth $28 million. It's the fact that Kyle can't see in his mind where that $28 million would fix without having to take away from Christian, without having to take away from George. And he doesn't want to alter the offense that way because, quite frankly, that's not what offensive coordinators want to do.
No, I
Offensive
totally get
coordinators
that.
are
Yeah.
always married to their offense because that's what they get hired by, their offense. But head coaches hire OCs to do the job,
Right.
right? And I don't care how pretty and cute your scheme is. That's why I'm here to say, you know what? Now we need you to pull exactly out of this offense what I'm telling you we need to do. And that's Kyle's problem. He
Yeah.
doesn't, sometimes he negotiates like he's a goddamn offensive coordinator
Yeah, that's true.
instead of a head coach, instead of thinking about the future, instead of thinking about the equity, instead of thinking about the time spent and the fact that you're going to be paying your youngest star after all of the other stars you paid are getting older. That's what a head coach thinks about. But an OC thinks about, well, I already just gave $19 million to my running back, who I'm going to use a lot, and I'm already going to pay, my other $17 million on my all-pro tight end, who I have all of these nice plays for. The food touches too much for Kyle, and he doesn't know the difference. He doesn't have self-awareness.
And I got a hot take. Let me know what you think about this.
Come on.
So I kind of want to like. I'm not. I love Aiyuk. Don't get me wrong. Love BA.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
with Brock's contract coming up, I kind of want to see what he looks like with a little less talent to know if he's worth that money.
Well, that's the
You know, I'm
land.
just.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I got
You
some
know, like, don't
guys.
get me wrong. I do want to win a Super Bowl. I do want to see Brock with enough talent, but it might be nice to see a little thing for the future. Like, oh, if because let's put it this way: if you trade Brandon Ayuk for whatever XYZ, and then
Right.
Brock does the same thing, you're looking at Brock a little differently now. Where
Yeah, but
what?
I don't think it's good business for us to
No, I
look at
hear you.
Brock differently.
I'm just kind of spitballing. Where it was just
No, no,
like,
no. I like where you're going, but every quarterback is an entity within of itself, right? There's organizations that get behind quarterbacks. There's an investment, and sometimes quarterbacks can be too big to fail, so to speak, where the investment and what they've done to prop this guy up and to put certain weapons and and infrastructure around him. For Brock to fail, that means that Kyle gets fired. That means that Brian Greasy isn't as good as a quarterback coach as we think we are. That means
that's
the
fair.
49ers have to get rid of him and do something without him. So this is the level, the side of professional sports where the tiers start messing with you, where pro sports is about money, entertainment, then the sport.
Yeah,
They're never going to put the sport over the entertainment and the money. Never.
yeah,
So what
yeah,
you're talking about is pure sport. Let's
yeah.
see if the kid can sink or swim on his own at the very, maybe we'll get that if entertainment and money come together in some weird way where it's like, this is a beautiful death. We got to watch it anyway.
Right.
But as far as watching him just drown, he's doing John Deere commercials. No way. It's not happening.
Yeah.
He's too big to fail, dog. It ain't happening, bro.
Last thing, obviously, I'm assuming you're gonna be watching the game later.
Of course.
Who are you most excited to see? Because for me, D Winters, Renardo Green, like those are
Okay.
my two.
Yeah.
A little probably
100%.
probably Malik Mustafa's probably up there.
Yeah.
Like
You're
I want to see these young guys because I feel like if D Winters could put together a good preseason, it's like why are you gonna hold him back from DeAndre Campbell? Like why would that even be an issue?
yeah, so look, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel the same way about Logan Thomas. That's why I'm glad that he left. I felt like
Yeah,
if Logan Thomas found a way to make this team, that's not that's not good news for us.
yeah,
That's
right.
bad news for all of the
That means our young
developing.
guys are just not developing quick enough to right. Yeah,
So for me, you kind of mimicked exactly what I want to see, but I'm just going to kind of just shuffle that list a little bit. I want to see Malik Mustafa. I heard so many great things about Malik before the pads came on,
yeah.
right? And then the pads came on and didn't see anything from him at all. He disappeared.
To me though,
So
I feel like Mustafa's just a gamer. Like I think his practice is just gonna
that's
be a
what I want to
practice.
see. That's what I want to
I
see.
think once he sees a different uniform, it's like, oh, it's on. Like we're good to go.
Exactly.
You know.
So I want to see that. I definitely want to see D Winters. I want to see Jalen Graham. I want to see what Evan Anderson, Shakir Brown, and those boys on the inside. I want to see Jordan Elliott and Malik Collins. Like, I don't want to see these guys on the sidelines spitting sunflower seeds with baseball caps on. They
Is
ain't
is
earned that.
is
None of
Brock
them
gonna play
motherfuckers
or
was in
not?
the Super Bowl last year. So they should be playing. I want to
Yeah.
see what we got.
You think Brock's gonna play, or you think they're gonna keep him out of this game?
No, they're going to give him starter love. I think that
Yeah.
we'll see him in the last game of the preseason. I'd
Yeah.
be surprised if I saw him today.
No, me too. I was just wondering because, especially with like everything in flux with Aiyuk, Trent, like there's no reason to throw him out
You
there.
don't even want to see that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Too big to fail.
yeah,
They don't
I hear
even
you.
want Brock to be seen without Trent and Brandon. They don't have the stomach for that. He's still Brock Purdy,
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant. They're not gonna let that
Also,
kid get out
Dominic
there.
Cooney. Let's see what he's got today. I think he.
Yes. Hey, Nick, call back, man.
I got you,
Hey,
coach.
holla at you, bro.
Yeah, good talking to you, man.
All right, brother. JLP, you ready for me, dog? Hold on, let me get this super chat out the way real quick. Let's get a couple of supers out the way right quick before we go there. So my man Smack Jones, 199. Thank you. Keep the content coming, big dog. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, Smack. Smack is my guy, man. Been around for a while, and I know you're a battle rap fan. My man, brother Bob, comes in. Gunshots got me wilding out. Had to stop working. Hey, man, you got to load up and you got to shoot sometimes, baby. It is what it is. When I get guys that I feel like they loading up and they give me a good point, you get a gunshot out of me. That's how I feel, dog. Manhattan John 499. Thank you. Said, let's see if this secondary is for real with the 1s, 2s, and 3s tonight. That's a big deal. Sometimes, we've been talking about the receiving core getting strapped. There's been coverage sacks all throughout camp. And the secondary is the lead dog. They are the leading group on the team right now. Are they playing against bums? Or are they really that deal? I feel like Tennessee's going to help us answer that question, man. So that's good too. JLP, my dog, you ready? I know he ain't frozen. What's good, brother? Oh, are you muted? Oh, you're muted. Unmute yourself, bro. Yeah, what's good, bro?
How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Oh man, I can't call it.
Oh,
It's
you're a little
game
low,
day, man.
bro.
I've been waiting on game day the day after the Super Bowl. Shit.
Oh, I think you got to turn me down and turn yourself up. You got to turn the show down because I know I can hear myself through. There we go.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you much better.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Yeah, I said, shit, it's game day, brother. Everybody's good right now.
Hey, it's back, ain't it? Don't you feel it? It's back.
Man, I feel it. I feel it. I've been waiting this since the day after the Super Bowl. Shit.
Hell yeah, man. So who you want to see
We're
tonight? What
finally
are you
back.
looking for?
I want to see Cam Latu.
Okay.
I want to see
I
him make a
mean,
catch.
Cam, all right, I'm gonna be real
Come
with you,
on,
dog.
man. Let's make a catch. That's all I want you to do.
I ain't been hearing good stuff about my boy Cam, man. I gotta be real. And I know Jesse's watching this.
I ain't either.
I've been hearing bad news about my man Cam. But I hope he's a gamer. I hope he get it together, but I don't know.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Coach. What did you see out of the offensive linemen while you was at camp? Did you see anything good out of any of these young guys? Pooney?
Dominic Pooney is a starter. He's got a much more imposing frame than I gave him credit for. Seeing him in person, he's got a really good body. He's long. He's got really big, strong arms. He's got strong hands too. One thing that I will say is that he's being coached to be a starter. Coach Forrester gets very frustrated when he doesn't play with technique. And another thing with Dominic is that you can tell that the type of player he is, he plays with strength because a lot of the mistakes that he makes on this level of football is lack of technique, running around too high, just kind of almost in a sense like I'm used to playing like I'm one of the strongest guys on the field. And you can't do that in the NFL. You got to move with technique. There's a couple of times where he pulled on some traps and went backside and didn't find what he liked on the other side of them pulls, man, because he was running too high. He's finishing the blocks, but he's getting knocked on his ass. Or he's going on inside zone and he's standing straight up and getting turned by lower defenders. So, and these are things that clean up. These are like things that are bad, but they're fixable. So I will say that out of our youngest guys coming in offensive line, I'm pleased with Dominic Pooney. If I want to go into the tackles, Colton McKivitz actually looks stronger than he did last year. He's a lot more confident in his skill set. I actually saw Colton McKivitz win some one-on-ones versus Nick Bosa. That was really promising. I seen Colton McKivitz win one-on-ones versus Leonard Floyd. That was promising. So Colton McKivitz looks to be settled. right? We don't know what that means in real games, but he looks very confident in the position. As far as the left guard position is concerned, Aaron Banks is having the worst camp that I've seen out of everybody. He seems a little bit out of shape, lethargic, tired. Then when we get into one-on-ones, he's getting beat like a drum. And he's getting beat by Javon Hargraves, which is a guy that I don't even really give that much credit for. Oh, let the baby talk. We good. We can talk through her. It's okay.
Sorry, that's a
We can
grandbaby.
talk, mama. It's okay.
She want to be on TV.
She can be in here, baby. So, but even with Javon Hargraves, I don't even really consider Javon to really be like a big like run stuffer, like somebody that can really penetrate and get into the backfield. But he was doing that regularly, routinely against Aaron Banks. So out of the offensive linemen that I'm depending on, because we can talk about them as a whole and the depth and, the days I saw it, that doesn't really matter. Football's here now. So let's talk about the guys that are actually going to play, right? So outside of those guys, I really want to see Spencer Burford because Spencer Burford looks visibly better. I have not seen him play, but Spencer Burford looks yoked. He looks in great shape. It's just that hand. So I got to see what that hand is, what he looks like once he gets back. But Colton McKivitz and I would not be surprised. I'm going to say this right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the right side of our offensive line isn't our strongest side this season, especially what goes on with Trent.
Did you see anything good out of Jalen Moore at all?
Yeah, actually. Jalen Moore looked okay. He looks good in one-on-ones, but he just can't put it together in team. So what happens in team is that, he's a better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. And his biggest issue with run blocking is that we run a specific type of scheme where we run outside zone. Well, if you're going to be on the front end on that outside zone as a left tackle, you got to have great feet, remarkable angles, and you got to be able to play at the point of attack with strength. And in order to have all of those things at once, you got to be a special player. That's why we need Trent Williams back. Because being able to get out of that hole and get there faster, to be able to set the tempo, to get out there and actually reach or pin or block, it takes a lot. And in certain areas, we dump on Jalen Moore, but it's a special position to be. I mean, look at who Trent's predecessor was, Joe. He wasn't, he wasn't nothing to sneeze at either. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not like nobody tackles are running this offense, offensive scheme successfully. So I want to be fair to Jalen because he is a swing tackle. But as far as if I had to talk about the actual vulnerability of our offensive line, it's from guard to guard. I don't know what we're going to do at center. Aaron Banks has not impressed me at left guard. And at right guard, we possibly may have to play a rookie. So that's where I'm looking at, guard to guard for our offensive line.
And that's why you so that we can get Trent Williams deal done.
Hello? Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. What up? I know you can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
All right. My bad. I know it says that I was muted. It said that it was muted. My bad. Go ahead.
What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Drippy. What's good, cuz? Yo, you look like, man. I feel like we about to cut up, dog. Like, what's good, son? What you?
No, I'm excited to finally be on, man. I just want to tell you, man, how much I appreciate what you do, man. Just the way you approach the game, the knowledge that you bring, the way that you're able to communicate it, to your fan base. I truly appreciate it, and I'm excited to be on, man.
Yeah, hey man, you know what? First of all, thank you for the flowers. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, like I feel like I came from the chat. You know, I'm no better than anybody literally watching my channel right now. And I feel like, you know, be able to bridge the gap between the fans and being able to give a platform. You know, like this is y'all stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just took the extra step to get the logos and all of the bullshit together. But really, you know what I'm saying? Like Esu Casa, Mikasa, my nigga. Like, come
Yeah.
in, do what you want to
Let's
do.
go. Let's go,
Yeah.
man.
So what you got for
So
me? Like, what do you want to what do you want to talk about? Like what's burning right now?
I
Pause.
I got a few things. I got some things burning, but I know it was your first time at camp, you know, and I hear you. I heard you mention a few players that you were excited to see. Cody Schrader, I think Graham was another one. Just what are a couple things that you've seen from Schrader that you think is going to allow him to be successful in the game? A few attributes that separate him from the other rookies or some of the people he's competing against.
That's a great question. Number one is attitude. He makes you notice him. All right. And that's hard to be a little 5'7", 100 or whatever pound white boy and running back. Let's just call facts, right?
Right.
The optics don't hit. And what I like about him is that you could tell he don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
He gonna come
Okay.
in and play to the best of his ability. And another thing that I like about him is that um, first guy on the field at the beginning of every practice about his work. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come in here and get my light work in. I'm gonna get my pre-practice in. Never missed a day. One thing I like about him is that he's a decisive runner. He understands like he kind of runs in the ilk of Brock Purdy in a sense. Now he's a way better runner than Brock, but from the same aspect of I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and you ain't gonna catch me out here doing something that's outside my body. I'm gonna play inside my frame, right?
Got
That's one thing that I like about Cody Schrader is that he plays to his strengths, which is quickness, low ability to get to the ground. He's got a great lower center of gravity. Pad level is awesome with him, and he takes what you give him, right?
okay.
And one thing that I feel like is deceptive about his game is that his acceleration is very good. So whatever he has in top end speed, he gets there fast and he knows how to use it. So he don't waste no time. That's something that's very good for our running scheme because we need to be able to take the first step of the second step is the read step, the third step is the cut step. We need to be able to go through and get that. And that's not easy for running backs to play with that type of discipline and steps. Look what Jordan Mason finally came out and admitted is that, hey, I had an issue with Bobby Turner. I couldn't find my way on the field because there's a way that I had to run where I felt as though that I could do things my way. And you know how old coaches are. It's like, man, you ain't you ain't
Yeah.
sniffing the
Yeah.
field, brother.
You get right or you get left.
Yeah, brother. Hey, man, you go ahead and take a seat right here, brother. Right here, right next to me.
Yeah.
We can watch
Fact,
the game
fact.
together. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
I think that Cody Schrader. Let me put it like this: he won't make waivers. He won't clear waivers. If they try to get cute and stash him, somebody will pick him up. And then also, one thing that I love about him is that I haven't seen this in person because I've only seen a couple of one-on-ones with him, and he doesn't get that many reps. But I have the sneaking suspicion that he's a workhorse back, meaning that the first guy's not going to bring him down. He's always going to fight for extra yards. He kind of gives me that nasty junkyard dog kind of feel to his game. So I'm excited to see what he does down the stretch, bro.
Right, man. Great explanation, man. I think at first I had a couple follow-up questions, man, but you knocked them all down. Because especially as being uh, a smaller running back, that pad level is key, especially when you got a stronger lower body. So
Mm-hmm.
and you got that quickness. So I'm excited to see Graham. A couple things that you've seen from him. I know he's not a rookie, but what are you seeing that excites you? Maybe his development. What are you seeing? How has he developed from? I know you weren't in camp the year previously, but from anything from his development.
Okay, so I got some good. You're asking really good questions because number one, if it wasn't for Fred Warner, Jalen Graham would easily be playing. It's just because
Okay.
he's behind the best linebacker in football right now.
Right.
But Jalen Graham he's a safety a converted safety, okay, and that has done him wonders in terms of space. The kid is long, he can run. He's instinctual. He's a ball hawk, is not scared to do anything with the ball as far as high pointing the ball. He'll see a hit and try to go for the ball over the hit. That's like conscientious stuff. Most guys that have like that linebacker hardwired into them, they always going to want to be physical. You got a ball hawk at linebacker. That's one thing that I see out of Jalen Graham. Another thing is that he fits the part. He doesn't look like a safety. He looks like he filled his body out. He has an NFL body, looks good in his pads, fast, and he's not fast in a Dre Greenlaw type of fast, where Dre Greenlaw is more instinctual. He's more like, that's why you're so worried about his Achilles, because he's more like quick twitch. Like
Yeah,
I see
explosive.
ball, I get ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
explosive, right?
yeah.
Seek and destroy.
Missile.
Jalen is a strider. Like
Yeah,
he
he's
he
snatching. He's snatching.
dog, you know who he reminds me of? Like if I had to like compare his game, it's like his gait reminds me of like Ted Ginn, like smooth, really not a
Okay.
lot of wasted movement. He looks like he's not wasting a lot of energy to move around, but if you actually look at the surface area that he's covering, he's moving a lot of ground with his movements, but he's just a strider. He's long legged, not necessarily a long torso. So I mean, he's just instinctual. One thing that I will say about him is that he plays behind the line of scrimmage. That's another thing too. Usually when you get those ball hawk guys that are converted guys, they turn on in pass pro and pass protect, not protection, but pass coverage. But
Right.
one thing that I like about Jalen Graham is that he'll come downhill. He will come downhill. And lastly, he's a leader. I mean, if there was anybody that was always bringing juice to every individual period, every time they went up, Jalen Graham. Jalen Graham. So I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
I'm
I
happy
mean,
about where Jalen Graham
yeah.
is.
I'm excited. That's what I'm gonna be looking for today when I see him.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing. Let me see what I have. All right. Yeah, we could touch briefly on Kyle, man. One thing. Diehard Niner all my life, man.
Okay.
I love the team. Um, but one thing that I guess irks me about Kyle is just his interpersonal development, like his self growth,
Right.
and just as a person, as a man, I just think it's always important that we reflect on ourselves and try to improve. And I just think that his ego and his pride has really has prevented him and will continue to prevent him from reaching his maximum capabilities or where he's going. Because I just feel like he just can't get out his own way, right?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that um, I heard you mention the energy is different, right? I heard you mention one thing that was different about the energy is different, and you can see it. You can see the attitude changing even amongst players, And I'm not gonna say it's all about from everybody wanting to get paid, but you can see that the recipe is getting old, right? You
The
might
voice
like
is getting stale.
like
Yeah.
you might like spaghetti, but you ain't gonna walk to the table as fast if it's for dinner every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's my concern, right? Is that the team, collectively is they believe, but I feel like it's a thin line,
I
between
think
the
the
belief and and
mhm.
and and, and um
I
and kind
think
of losing confidence in in the system and what Kyle losing confidence in Kyle. I guess I can say. My concern is we're losing streak away from just losing that fight and that energy. You know how it is when you might get the new job that you excited to do, or you on a new team, or you got a different you know what I'm saying, you got a new girl and you got your new suit on, you're walking different, you're talking different. But when things ain't going right, you're a little frustrated and there's some emotions that you might feel that you ain't really talked about. You walk up different. And
I mean,
my concern is that may be what's happening with the team right now.
I think the word you're looking for is transactional. It's starting to feel very transactional, like quid pro quo. Like you do this, then I'll do this. Like you get me this, then I'll do. There's no more. on spec. We ain't doing nothing for the Gipper no more. I ain't trusting what you selling no more. You're not gonna get all the effort out of me, and then I get to figure out your side of it. You're gonna have to show and prove now. I think that's the feeling that I'm getting now is that
Yeah.
the frat party is over. It's time to go to work now, right? And maybe this is what they need. Maybe they don't need to be friends to get a job done. All right. I go to work with people who I'm not friends with, and we get tons of shit done all the
Right.
time. Right? You don't got to be my buddy for us to get something done. And in some instances, in order for you to get certain things done, you don't have to be as close, and you shouldn't be as close
Yeah.
as you think you need to be with somebody to have a personal line with them. Maybe I need to have a business relationship with you so you can have some other motivating factors on getting your job done outside of me liking you or outside of me giving you a certain contract where now you feel as though that I don't have to earn this money. I got this money off the basis of my relationship with you. So for what I'm here to say is that you find the good out of anything, right? And that's what a coach's job is, right? It's not to set everything up as perfectly as you can and then just orchestrate as you go along. No, it's my job to scratch every itch, lift every rock, figure out every type of asset that we need around us to be able to put us inside of this goal. So if Kyle finds himself a little emotionally askew from his team, it's his job to learn how to fucking use that. It's his job to learn
Facts.
how to use that. So
Facts.
even if he finds himself as his little Mean Girls club isn't rocking together anymore, that's up to him to say, okay, well, band together because you hate me, but we got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'll tell you this, I feel it too. And quite frankly, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a little disgusting. Like come on, we can't be that close, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
so for me, I do want to see Trent here on a prove it deal or a 1-year deal where we know what he did over the offseason and he can't sit in front of us and lie and say, oh, I want to be a Niner as long as they'll have me. Bullshit, bruh. You for hire. Just admit it. Strap up, get paid. Let's hurry up and go get this deal. I would love to see Nick Bosa and the boys sit there and say, well, yeah, you know what? The defense has really got to get out here and handle business no more because we don't got the depth like we used to. So we got to get out here and get stops. And it matters. Same thing with the offensive line. I feel like they all need to be a little bit disjointed so everybody can have that culpability so we can all know who fucked up when the rubber meets the road. That's the problem, is that when you're all friends and everybody's butt buddies, the responsibility, you can't never lay it on anybody because everybody's afraid to hurt everybody's feelings, right? You
Right.
can't come, and then you get scapegoats like Spencer Burford and Coach Wilkes. You know, so it's like, I'm
Right.
tired of them doing this. And like, I like the fact that they're going into the season with a little bit unknown. They need to pay Trent. They need to pay BA. However the team feels about it, they need to buckle up, suck it up, and get ready to play. Because quite frankly, this is self-inflicted. This is self-inflicted.
Man, and that's what's. I guess that's probably what's frustrating about it is because none of this had to be like this, right? It didn't have to go like this, and y'all said it before. You know, it is you know basically say it's their business model, it's their negotiating model. It's like that every year. It's dragged out, and yeah, we seeing the effects of it, but I just don't think they have the scope on it, you know, like we do.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, you know what? I would need you to call back, bro. This is a good conversation, bro. We're gonna
Appreciate
wrap,
you,
bro.
man. Most
Talk to you,
definitely,
man.
man. All
All
love.
right. Green Thumb, you ready for me, dog?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
What up? You know
You hear
what?
me?
Hold on. Before you start talking, I got a beef with you, bro.
Yeah, what's up?
Man, weren't you supposed to be emailing me?
I don't think so. That wasn't me.
Oh, I thought you were green full. My bad. I
Oh,
thought
this
you.
is Green Thumb, bro. Green Thumb.
I got my greens mixed up. My bad,
Oh,
bro.
you're good. You're
Wrong
good.
green, man. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
sorry
man.
my camera's not on. I got something else going on my other
Dog, I
screen.
don't care about that, bro. You good? Matter of fact, I got you. I got you right here. Hold on. I got you. We'll throw you down. Hold on. Hold on. Get you in here. Get my man in here. All right, bro. We good right here. Go ahead.
Anyhow, dude, what I'm trying to say is this might not be a popular opinion with everybody, but I'm going to guarantee right now BA's on the team when the season starts.
I agree with you.
I really think they're going to figure out a way to get that job done. And with Trent being out, honestly, you and I both know he just don't want to practice. That's all it is.
All right, so let me ask you this. I'm not saying that you're wrong, right? But if you're the Niners, I can't sign Trent for 1 year because we look like suckers. Because now we look like we're open for hire for anybody that just wants guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So it's quid pro quo. If I give you this guaranteed money, because right now Trent technically still is under contract. So if you're willing to break your contract because you want guaranteed money, then you got to give me years. I
Yeah.
need a contingency that you're not just going to take this money, take a 1 year deal from me and get $20 million to $28 million and then retire. And then all of a sudden I just paid you $28 million for 1 year. So my biggest deal with Trent is I do believe that there's an element of this where he doesn't want to be in camp. But if I'm the Niners, I'm a little concerned by giving you just a 1 year deal because how do I know we're not going to go through this all over again next year?
Yeah, I hear you.
You
I don't
know?
know. I just feel like Trent's on his way out the NFL anyhow. I mean, maybe it would be better off for us to have him walk and hopefully we find a replacement. I mean, we're not going to find anybody better than him, but
I think he played this masterfully. Like we had his ass in the sling pre-draft. We really did. He was coming off of a visibly shaky game. He's about to be 36 years old. His guaranteed money has run out. I mean, we could essentially force Trent to retire this year if we had handled our business and got a tackle. But and this is what's wild about this, is that all right, let's say we don't pay Trent and we say and we get tough with Trent and say, you know what? Take a hike. You're like, we're not paying you, get lost.
yeah.
Then next year, you know what we're going to be saying? We got to draft a tackle because we got to get Trent's replacement. While we're going to be trying to pay another receiver again because Debo's going to want to get read up. So then what's going to happen is that while we're in the draft, looking for a tackle next year, and everybody's going to be saying that we need a tackle because Trent's gone, we're going to be paying Debo $28 million a year, and everybody's going to be saying that it's a deal. because of the new receiver market. Everybody's going to be saying, "Oh, paying Debo, getting him at 28 is a deal on top of us drafting a tackle." And you and I will be here to say, what the fuck was wrong with you doing that shit this year?
Yep.
You should have got the damn tackle this year. Oh, and by the way, you're going to pay $28 million potentially and call it a deal to a receiver that's about to be 30 when you could have did it with BA when he was 26 the year before when you were arguing with them to pay him.
Yeah.
So
Another thing is, you know how everybody keeps talking about the Super Bowl hangover and the season don't feel the same as it did last year and stuff. Honestly, like in the NFC, we're still the best team in the NFC, however you want to cut it. I mean, the Lions are on our ass, don't get me wrong, but we're still the best team in the NFC. And if somehow we can figure out a way to get through the season with home field advantage, we're going to be right back in the Super Bowl. And if, Kansas City's there like everybody's predicting they will, you have to think our team's going to have a chip on their shoulder after losing to them twice. I mean, I just feel like we have a really good shot this year of doing it.
okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of pushback.
Yeah, go for it.
What? How do you know that we're the best team in the NFC? What are you gauging that off of?
Well, let me ask you, okay, which team in your opinion is better in the NFC? I mean, like I said, you can go Lions, but realistically, we don't know if the Lions was a 1-year wonder or not. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The first 6 games of our season are gonna say a lot before we see the Chiefs.
yeah.
Uh, because for me, in my opinion, we got 3 games that we should win easily, but there's 3 games that pretty much show exactly where we stand. So if you look at week 1, we clearly have the Giants, right? I
No,
mean,
we
not the
got the
Giants, the
Jets.
Jets. Sorry about that. We have the Jets. All right. So week 1, we have the Jets. All right. In week 2, we have the Minnesota Vikings, which should be winnable.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in week 3, we have the Rams. All right. We got the Patriots and we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks.
Hey, that
Okay.
week 3 game, is that Rams game in San Fran or is it in the Rams? Not that it really matters.
It's versus the Rams, so it's
Home
gonna
game.
be home.
Okay.
Yeah. So in my opinion, right now, we'll see what the Rams are. We'll understand exactly where we stand with the Cardinals, and we're gonna be able to see our whole division. We'll actually see the Vikings. So we'll see the Rams, the Cardinals, um, we'll see the Vikings, the Patriots, and I say the Patriots and the Jets should be a win. The Vikings should be a win. Uh, then we'll see Arizona, Seattle, and the Rams. So we'll see our whole division before we'll see the Chiefs. In my opinion, before we see the Chiefs, we'll know exactly where we stand.
Yeah. That Chiefs game, is that a home game for us or is that on the road in Arrowhead?
No, it's at the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. But I'll tell you this: I tend to believe that the NFL is bouncing back from last year. I think the NFL was in a down year last year.
Yeah, last year was our golden opportunity.
Definitely. But hey, man, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get somebody else up here. Green Thumb, man. I love the call, man. Give me a call back anytime, bro.
Hey,
Definitely next
Coach, man, I
week.
appreciate you, dude.
I appreciate you too, man. We'll talk.
All right, buddy.
All right. You ready for me, Bob? Just look at this guy, man. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Oh my God. What is wrong with this guy, bro? Fucking loser. What's up, man? What's up,
Looking
bro?
for the 6, the quest for 6. You know
The
they
quest for
always say
sex.
the quest for 6 begins right here today, baby.
What's good, bro? How you doing, man? I knew your ass was gonna be hyped for today, man. What's good, bro?
Ooh, yeah, baby. I can't even talk today. You know why?
Okay.
Because this is the day, bro. I said it on Ryan's show earlier. I'm gonna say it again. This is like Christmas in August, baby. In the
All right.
middle of the summer.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't be
Okay.
any happier, coach.
Yo, was that the shocker?
What do you say?
When you had your hands up like this. Hey, he doesn't even know what he's doing, Scott.
Yeah,
Stop,
stop
Scott.
it. It's like this, actually.
This is a family show. I will remove your ass from this shit. Stop. The babies is watching. Stop.
My daughter's downstairs, so we good.
Relax. Y'all are
Oh,
wildin', man.
Yo, man, seriously though, this is the day I've been waiting for because I really want to see. Let me start off by saying this. I really want to see all the rookies, but in particular, Mustafa and Green. Tell me, my brother, you were at. By the way, I'm very jealous. You were at training camp, man.
Dog, you could have been there too, bro.
Bro, I switched jobs, man. Switched law firms. And so I just want to get caught up with this new one and do what I got to do. Oh, look who it is.
It's my guy, bro. Imagine having Christmas in August, but the 2 presents you wanted, BA and Trent, aren't under the tree. Hey, yo, Jesse be standing on business, bro. Like, every time we try to get Jesse, be like, yeah. Be like, yo, Jesse, these tacos are awesome. You know, it'd be really awesome if Brandon, Aiyuk, and Trent got some tacos and took their ass to camp.
Yeah, I believe that man Jesse is straight dick.
No, yo, you wildin'.
But seriously, bro, he's right though.
Yeah.
And what I don't get is on that note, what's taking anyway? Let me get back to that.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing Green and Mustafa. Tell me, what did you see from them in camp, bro?
Malik Mustafa?
Yes, and
Not
Ronaldo Green.
much. Malik Mustafa, I mean, he didn't play a lot with the first team unit, if at all. Uh he seems to be a fluid athlete, but you could tell that he's really trying to like understand his spacing. Um, he wants to be aggressive, but the speed of the game maybe a tad too fast for him now. Uh, I didn't see like a lot of the plays that I didn't see that I was hearing about were his physicality in 7-ons or his instinctive play with breaking passes up. Or I didn't see a lot of that once the pass came on. Not to say that he was bad, but I just didn't notice him. Now, full disclosure, that is also an element of practice that I really wasn't watching during team a lot either, because a lot of my commentary and my attention was on the offensive line in the trenches. So
God,
the way we broke down team is that Jesse would have the secondary and basically linebackers back and quarterback back, and I would have the trenches. So a lot of what the younger guys were doing in on team drills, as far as like the skill guys, Jesse would have a way better point of view than I would. I just didn't recognize a lot from him. Now, that's not to say. Now, I was talking to um, a caller earlier, Nick, and he made a great point in saying that he may just be a gamer. We got to see what he does in game time situations. So I'm reserving judgment on him, but I'm not ringing the alarm at all on him being like not what we thought he was. I just, I'm not going to report on something I didn't see though.
well, you know what? I appreciate that about you, brother. Just being
Hmm.
honest, man. Don't sit
Yeah.
up here and gaslight me, tell me he was great and this and that, and if you really didn't focus on it. So I appreciate that. But I
Hmm.
don't trust Jesse either. You know what I'm saying?
Why, yo, that's crazy, dog. That's
He
crazy.
always late. So he was probably late to camp even though y'all left together, wasn't
No, hold on, no, look, nah, man, look. Jesse is class personified, especially when it comes to evaluation, bro. Like
he?
Jesse knows what he's talking about, man. I'm telling you.
You know
Like,
I gotta give him shit.
yeah, he showed me a lot when he was there, bro. He knows what he's
Good.
doing.
So did you get a chance to see Green?
Ronaldo Green?
Yes.
Yeah, I like Ronaldo Green just as a ball player, period. And I mentioned that a lot when I talk about football players that I like, but that's something that I look for immediately. Like, you got to look the part. You got to look like you're in shape. You got to look like you are a football player. One thing about Ronaldo Green, he looks the part. He's got a good body. I don't have a problem with him being able to handle it, run support or run. He's nasty. He's got good hands, and he seems to be a conscientious guy when it comes to like getting his pro game together. He's was always one of the first guys out, always one of the first guys in pre-practice, always one of the last guys in post-practice. He's a worker. And there were a lot of times, like for me, when I talk about like the skill guys, particularly the DBs, one thing that you heard me say is like, I didn't hear about him. I didn't hear about him because a lot of that stuff is like auditory. Like when I'm looking at trenches, I'll hear like, yo, Ronaldo Green, did you see him on that play? Like this is the stuff that's coming up in the stands while
Yeah.
team is going on. And Ronaldo Green's name was routinely mentioned during team. But again, I didn't have, that's one thing that I wanted to mention. And this isn't to throw anybody under the bus, but this is just the truth, Bob. One thing that I noticed about being at camp is that for all of the reporters who do it by themselves, if they tell you they saw everything, cap.
Straight bullshit.
Cap. That is cap, bruh. Like, first of all, the way the field is, the practice is so disjointed from like offensive line to be tucked away all the way in the top corner on the second field. Then defensive line may be on the adjacent field next to them, so you may be able to see what they both doing. But then the linebackers are right below them. The DBs will be in the bottom half of the first field. The running backs are all the way tucked in the corner by the weight room. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking like, you know what I mean? Like quarterbacks, depending on where they're moving, they may be working with receivers or they may be working on their own, or they may be working in with specials over on the side. So when you get reports about camp, like I would much rather trust a practice report from like a regular season practice, because at least you know that like it's condensed somewhat. But camp, we're trying to whittle down to 53. There's
Right.
already 90 plus
96.
guys on the field, and
Right.
they're all spread over, and the practices are moving at rapid pace. You can't see everything. So when people start saying, "Oh, well, this is what the offensive line looked like," sometimes I'll be thinking like, how the fuck did you see the offensive line when you was talking about receivers and they was both doing one-on-ones at the same time? Like, you must have some wild ass view, because I wasn't able to look at what they was doing while the offensive line was on the other side of the field doing
Yeah.
one-on-ones with the D line. So that's one thing that I will say, like, in order to like really get the accurate reporting that, you know, fans will want to hear, you have to team up with somebody. You gotta say like, yo, you watch the second field while I watch the first field, because two important things are happening right now.
Yeah.
So that's something that I picked up on.
And I got to tell you, man, even though I went switch firms, it was great seeing you and Jesse. I would just listen to you guys primarily. Have your shows. You do two shows, like one his, one yours, and flip it, reverse it, with you two sitting next to each other. That was some great content. Seriously.
Thank you.
Even though Jesse's ass is always late, that was great content, my
I
man.
yo, for I have to though it be me, bro. I'll be late. Yo, I'll be late, son. I cannot let you do this, son. All right, so on Mondays, I have to like go do some stuff in the city, bro. So like, it don't be Jesse, bro. Like, as a matter of fact, the very first, because I already know that my phone is about to blow up after this show, bro. And you tried to set me up like you think you slick. So I'm like, bro, you're not setting me. You're like, yeah, because I just know it'd be Jesse's ass. I'm like, bro, what do you want me to say, dog? Like, no, it don't be Jesse all the time. It don't be. Most of the time, it's me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
sure.
So I will say this.
That's
So,
fair.
all right. So tell me what you want to see tonight. You
All
know,
right.
we're
Well,
T
other than those,
minus,
yeah.
yeah, 2 hours. Tell me what you want to see tonight, man.
So other than those players, I also want to see good. I want to see how the offensive line with the players that will play handle, especially if they go against any of the first string of the Titans. I would love to see how they handle it, because I think that's going to be our biggest issues this year. That O line, especially what you said, man. If you're telling me that Banks, who went to Notre Dame like myself, struggled in camp from your eyes, then I want to see how he's going to do. Now he may not play, but I want to see how he's going to do for the rest of the line between guard to guard. But man, I can't get off the show without talking about BA. And I gotta give you more credit. You and I bumped heads about BA before. We did. We did
You
several
was
times.
coming. Yo. Every time I talk about BA, you hit me with the like you be like, you be on me like what he on, bro? I be like, yo, chill, bro.
Man, y'all love your sound effects, my brother. They crack me the hell up.
Thanks, bro.
But seriously, I just gotta say this. Real shit. We haven't spoke on the phone in a little bit, which is cool. We're both busy. But it takes a man to get up there and say, hey, I was wrong. Or just say, yeah, I see it differently now. So everything cool, bro?
No, I just seen LeBron get dunked on.
Oh,
LeBron got dunked on by a black Frenchman. That's crazy.
we miss you.
We motherfucker. That's crazy.
Man, I've never been a huge LeBron fan. So
Dog, don't get me started, bro. Don't get me
I'm gonna
started,
just tell
bro.
you this. You know who my favorite player of all time was? And I don't
Who?
care what anybody say. I can't even see the chat. Larry Bird, baby.
Yo, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yep, that's right, baby. Larry Bird would talk so much. I wish he played when we had like all the social media. But much shit that man would talk, but then back it up. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. And he wasn't that athletic, and he still took it to you. One
I
day
ain't
he
mad at
said
that.
somebody, I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers on this back to back. So I'm gonna score with my left. And he scored like 40. Like, that's ridiculous, bro. But anyway, I gotta talk about BA. And here's my issue, man. So I was happy to hear Ryan, OG, Hensley, and Marco tell it like it is with their sources.
Okay.
that the Niners only really officially offered in writing 24 mil to BA.
What do you
And
think
I guess
about that?
I think, man, okay, I get it. That's their MO. That's their modus
That's
operandi.
ass, bruh.
I know, but that's what they do to everyone, right?
Okay.
Okay. My problem, and then they said a verbal 26 million. My problem is, look, you keep doing this. You're waiting to the end to really negotiate. You're pissing off your players, and what kills me is you saw the market cap rising. So to hear him say when he said on the pivot, "Hey man, I tried to set up. I mean, I tried to do an extension back in May or whenever, right after the draft or right before the draft," and they ignored him basically after that first offer. So I mean, to me, they have to learn to stop doing this. It doesn't help the team. You, Ryan, and everyone else has talked about it. Jesse, my guy Jesse, I give him shit, but he didn't work with Bosa last year. He came in, he wasn't in football shape, if you will, wasn't ready. So why do that with an offensive weapon? To me, is your best man weapon. Like he can get open, create space, and you don't. I mean, excuse me, he can get open without you creating space for him, without you designing up crazy things for him to be open. He's a man beater. So for me, that was problematic. And then now we hear that they're releasing or they're leaking trade compensation. They're only doing that to get the fans on their side. Like the fans would think, oh yeah, Amari Cooper, we got him a second and a fifth.
Yeah,
Like
they're only
you
doing
shouldn't
that
do
just
that.
to show what the Niners are basically having to turn down. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, man. And that's as much people want to give crap to BA, people have to understand one thing. Not only that B is a young man, but he is a man first and foremost who doesn't believe in kissing anyone's butt, clearly, who
Mm-hmm.
hasn't sat there and said, I'm gonna do whatever you want, Kyle, verbally, but he does it on the field, sacrifice being the number one guy receiver, okay, and the number one option, does everything he's asked of, doesn't get hurt, plays all out, and this is how you want to reward him by taking him through the ringer like this. I just think that they have to stop. And then I think it was Ryan OG that pointed out that he learned from his sources that it's not Parag. You said it earlier. It's not Parag doing the negotiating. He tells Lynch and primarily Kyle, these are our options. You can meet the player's demand. You can do this. You can do that. So it's not him negotiating. So it's really Kyle leading. It's time for us to do things right now. If you ask me, man, what do you think?
Um, I think one of the. I think. All right, so I think it is personal, and I think it's personal because Brandon is kind of putting a little bit of cracks in the Niners process. The way that the stories have always been told to us is that Parag is Oz. He's the man behind the curtain. That's the way it's always been portrayed to the fan base. And it's also been portrayed to us by John and Kyle that the fan base is disjointed, meaning that Parag has nothing to do with the roster. He has nothing to do with football operations. He's purely there for fiscal responsibility. That's it, which already seemed weird due to the fact that Kyle is so overbearing and micromanages almost every position on the football side. So it just seemed a little bit rich that for some reason everything goes one way, but it seems to drop into functionality and work a certain way when it comes to the money. I think that's because the reason why this lie needs to persist is because you're lying to internal people, which are the players. They need to feel as though that there's some type of checks and balances between themselves, their money, the organization, and the coaching staff, right? Because what player will want to go somewhere where they know that their head coach literally is like in the middle of their own negotiations? That's why you have different job descriptions for a reason, right? So the food doesn't touch. So
Yep.
the way it's been pushed off to us is that Parag basically goes back and forth with the players, negotiates with the players, and if the deal can get done, what happens is that there it's almost kind of like the jokes worked. Parag still gets looked at as the practitioner of the money. He's the one that's coming through with the deals. And I, as a player, get to go back to my head coach and say, oh, Kyle, man, you won't believe it how it's so crazy on this side of the organization, man. They argued with me. They went back and forth with me, told me that I wasn't worth any of this stuff. Like, you won't believe the time that I had over there. And Kyle gets to sit back and look like a normal guy in this situation.
Yep.
He's like, you don't say. Parag said, what? Well, how do you know he feels that way? So what's crazy is, I'll see what I can do. Maybe we can send an email, draft a letter. I don't know. You think John wants to talk? Shit. So Kyle comes back and plays dumb as if he doesn't know what's going on, because what does he do? He talks in public and says what? Oh, hey, I hope everything goes good with them. I have nothing to do with money. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to make plays, bro. Like, whatever goes on with the team, I don't know. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? He plays that game. And then what happens is that we always get what? It's like, if they do need to break the jokes, like if they do have to like uncover the scam because the player just can't get signed, what's the biggest mind fuck that they do? The very guy that's been saying that they ain't worth the money that they're worth, he comes in at the very end and acts like he wasn't there all along. Well, Kyle came in, had a conversation with me, and now all of a sudden, Parag sees it our way. And, thank God for Kyle for coming in, because if it wasn't for him to come in here and set Parag straight, who knows where we'd be.
We'd be right now.
And if you think about it, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense, because if it made sense, then Parag would be letting some of these guys walk. Parag would be letting some of these guys say, no, we're not doing this. But the facts is that just look at Kyle's relationship with all of these guys. In the very end, he bends the knee. He's going to bend the knee. And Kyle's the type of guy where he almost needs those other guys playing intermediary so he can truly tell these guys what he thinks of them. And what he thinks of Brandon is, I think you're worth $24 million a year in my offense. But Brandon is smart enough to know, well, I don't know why you coming over here trying to act like Parag said that. And I know you ain't over here. Why is John talking to me? I deal with you every day. So what are we doing here? Like, I really believe that Brandon is pretty much one of the first players to kind of not know. I'm not here to say that nobody knows, but he's probably one of the first players to see it coming, and it's just like, I ain't rocking, bro.
Yep.
28 million. And when Kyle's ready to talk, I'll be ready to talk. But all the rest of you assholes, you're just, you're just here. You're here echoing what Kyle can't tell me to my face. So they're going to, the same way you guys didn't even have the nuts to tell me 24 until you went and tried to go get Justin Jefferson, till you went and drafted the Backstreet Boy in the first round, and then went ahead and got Cowing. Now all of a sudden, your boy ain't looking too hot. Yeah, your boy ain't looking too hot in camp. Now you're looking for receivers, and you got chosen one Robbie, whoever the hell, on the trying out for the team. Riddle me that. So now all of a sudden, BA ain't good enough to pay the money that he's worth, but we don't went through receivers, and they're still working out receivers 2 weeks before the season starts.
Crazy, huh?
Man, pay him, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Man, I'm so happy you said it, man. That was like the best in a nutshell, man. And you know what kills me? I get it. When negotiating, sometimes I'll have another attorney play bad cop and I'm good cop. Or I have my client be the bad cop, I'm the good cop, or vice versa. But we're all old enough, or at least most of us, and wise enough to know that we get it. Kyle doesn't want to be the man that is seen as the one holding up people's paychecks, or, making their wallets smaller. So I get that. But we all know, at least BA does, that it is him. It comes down to him. So, I think he should just get the damn deal done, because we look stupid. You know what else kills me, Coach? You just said it, but Why are we effing around 2 weeks from the season, 2 or 3 weeks from the season started? Why? It makes no sense. You
At some
need this,
point, it's got
man.
to be us. It can't
Right?
all be the player. It's like, so it's like, all right, this is Brandon. Brandon don't want to be in camp. All right, you can gaslight. I fell for it. Brandon don't want to be in camp. Oh, Brandon's not going to be at camp. Like, oh, okay. He's not going to be there. Oh, man. And then it's like, all right, well, but what are y'all going to do? Like, you guys are
Right?
the organization. It's like parents looking at their kid, like, acting up in public. And it's just like, parents are like, yeah, you're only going to look stupid out here. But after a while, it's going to be like, yeah, but you're the parent, though. Like, so you can't control your child? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like what we
Exactly.
doing? So I don't know. They're gonna have to, honestly. The Niners have leveraged themselves in a position where they got to pay both Trent and BA. We're not going to get anything of worth for BA. What are we going to get for BA right now?
Man,
Honestly.
that's what I'm saying. You're not going to get anything because it's too late to get something. If you wanted to do this, you had to do this before the draft. And what they really F themselves is because they sat and let him go negotiate with other teams, bruh. So then what happens? Okay, see, yeah, I'm not. I'm
What
just
they
going.
say? Yeah, I like what they 7, man. He's so salty, bro. He always ornery. He don't care, bro. It's like, I've never heard him in real life, but for some reason I could just hear his voice like 26 is fair. Fuck him. Like,
You know what though? But wait till next year. If Purdy holds out because he wants 60 plus,
I
then
don't want to hear a word out. 187 doesn't understand what he's walking into. 187, hold on. 187. You've been in the chat for years. You one of the Purdy OGs, dog. You one of the original gangsters of the Purdy Club. I better not hear one peep out of you when it comes time for Brock to get paid. I don't want. I want to see how you gonna move. There's a couple of y'all. I want to see how you gonna move though.
And you know, it's funny. 187 was in the hard in the Trey Lance camp too. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. My thing is now that they let BA supposedly uh, go out there and negotiate with other teams, we hear that was it New England? I was going to pay him 32 large per year. Granted, we don't know the details, right? See, 70.
70. Hey, this
Got to
is
run
why,
with it.
Brock Purdy fans are dangerous, bro. Dangerous. Look, Kenny right behind him. Purdy's gonna need 75 mil. Hey, son, stop. Stop. Y'all are wild, bro. I guess it's
But
just gonna
coach,
be Brock out there.
okay, but coach, what if that's what Purdy wants?
That's not what he wants. I believe
I'm just saying.
digital Drew with sanity. Thank you. But takes more. I'd be shocked if he took more than 55.
Well,
I
all
would.
I'm saying, the same thing I said about BA, I'll say about Purdy. Get the market value, bruh.
Yeah.
Get your money. Don't let this team, these billionaires, and that I give money to. This is literally the last jersey I bought because I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of being sold that, oh, the faithful, oh, quest for 6. And, we still ain't got number 6. But
Right.
anyway, let me just finish this about the
All
team.
day.
So I just think, man, honestly, we paint ourselves in that corner because now we see and BA sees, see, I'm worth 32 million to some people. and
Yeah.
whatever the Browns are going to give him. So this is dumb. We could have had this done before, and he may have accepted the 26 or 27 million. Remember, he went on a pivot and said, I tried to negotiate before all these other contracts went up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think hopefully we learn from this. No, not we. Hopefully Kyle Levy learns from this and stop doing this in the future. If you want to keep somebody because you need them, then sign them, extend them early. And if you don't want to keep them, then just trade them. When you can before the draft, get something for them.
Who you talking about, Brock?
No, I'm talking about just in general. Not Brock. I'm
Oh
saying
well.
like they
Well,
give
they
a BA.
operate from choices, man. Like they like to have options. It's just to the point where they're so busy getting their options together, other people are actually too busy actually making moves. So while they're getting their options, you got to look at it this way. If you're trying to gain options for, or um, opportunities to be, agile inside of a situation, that's something that you could do if the situation is like stagnant, if you know that you're coming up on something. But my man, if stuff is like contemporaneously happening and changing day by day, how do you know that the options that you're going to go get can't automatically turn into deficiencies based on what's happening in the moment? It's like, why don't you just bet on yourself to do it? Just do it scared, bro. That's something that I used to coach all the time. Do it scared. You're not going to feel confident. All right.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel like you're doing the best thing that you need to do right now. If you're waiting on that fuzzy feeling, go get a girlfriend, talk to her about it, wake up in the morning and then go do it. Outside of that, do that shit scared, swallow the anxiety, do some man shit and do it scared. Just do
Man,
it
shit.
scared.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right, man. You're absolutely right. That's my thing. When the draft came, I get they want to have options. That's where they're floating, trading either Aiyuk or Debo. But once the draft left, then just sign a man, move on, build your team, focus on maybe the O line and all this other stuff. What you don't do is just leave this man hanging and dangling, and then you just prove to everyone that you don't know how to negotiate. Because when he called your bluff and he came in and did the whole day, and he continued to call your bluff, you look like an idiot. Now you're gonna have to cave to him because what are you gonna do? You're not gonna get anyone. So anyway, and Kenny, let me say this: you cannot replace the production of what of what BA brings. It just you can't do it. I don't. I mean, not with the players on the team already. Like you said, Pretty Ricky or a Slick Rick, he can't even stay on the field. Colin barely can stay on the field. So who's going to do it? And I'll be honest with you. I know people like to talk up JJ, but JJ, he's slow. I don't think he's a good outside receiver. Definitely not an X. Debo can't play that role either. He can't. We saw it in the Super Bowl. He can't get open to save his life against man press coverage. So the only person that can replace BA's production is BA.
Right. And I'm glad that you touched on this because Kenny put out a comment that says, don't replace the player, replace the production. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this because the player creates the production. I know that sometimes we like to play God as coaches and say, I just need a guy that can fill this role that does X. But sometimes if you coach the guy up and his development supersedes what his use case is for, then that's when the coaching turns on for you to get out of the way and see where that can take you. Even if you have to change some things, even if you have to move the context of the offense, it still means that you're better. Like if you're just going to replace the production, that puts you in a position where we're always going to be having players who feel as though I'm overplaying what I'm getting paid, or we're going to have guys where the production, what we think the production is going to dictate how we get paid. And that's when you get a receiver that's getting paid like one of the top receivers in the league, and he can't even get open in Debo. So that's how you get this quote. It's a double-edged sword because this quote is why we're in the BA situation, and this quote is why we're in the Debo situation. Because sometimes the production gets overstated and overvalued, and sometimes the player doesn't get rewarded for outplaying the production. And you can't gaslight him and make him think that the boy don't know that he's outplaying what you're giving him. So what you expect? You expect, honestly, this will never come out. It'll never be said. You don't think BA thinks that he's better than Debo?
100%. 100%. He knows it. Everyone knows it.
Let's stop this shit. Come on. Be real. You don't think. Oh, my bad, Jonas. My bad. I'm so sorry, Jonas. Jonas waited for me, but Jonas, your first step next show, bro. Promise, man. But you don't think that BA, this is, for some reason, all of a sudden that these guys' competitive nature turns off once somebody wears the same logo. No. BA knows he's better than Debo. Come on.
All around
and that's what this conversation really is about. It's like, no, you're going to either pay me like you pay him or more. All right. And I don't care what you got to do with him later, but it's time for me to get mine. And if that means that me getting mine means he got to go, so be it.
It's a
It's that
business.
simple.
Yep. Yep. And let me say this, Coach. I say this. And sorry, Giannis, I got all worked up over here. I can't see you, but anyway, yeah, man. Look, I love Debo. I got 2 of his jerseys too, but he adds something that, of course, you know, Ayuk can't run through people like Debo does, but Ayuk doesn't need to do that. What Ayuk needs to do is what he's been doing: continue to block, something that Debo doesn't do; continue to give 110% effort, something that Debo doesn't do; continue to always basically be healthy. Yeah, I know I saw Rob in the back. To be healthy. And here's the thing. He is a man beater. That's what kills me. He had 75 receptions, nearly 1,400 yards, being a man beater, bro. So I just think that it's clear that he's a better overall receiver than than Debo. Now he doesn't throw the ball to himself. He doesn't call the plays to make himself the number one read or target. He doesn't do those things. But yet he
Mm-hmm.
still is the best receiver on this team, hands down. So yeah, of course he feels that way, and he's right. Shit, I would feel the same way too. Yeah, okay, that's my boy. He cool, but I'm sorry, I'm better than him. So pay me
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. You're going to pay me like it.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, and it really don't even have anything to do with his money, but it just so happens that the market places me at where he gets paid. I'm sorry, that's just a coincidence. But for what it's worth, you know, didn't Debo 13 targets in the Super Bowl?
Man, yeah, he had a lot of targets. And
Bro,
people want to hold that against Ayuk that he had like less
how
than half
many?
of those targets.
Let me just put it like this, man. Let me put it like this. How many of you in the chat watching this show right now, and yourself, Brother Bob, have had a family member that played a team sport? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Like
oh yeah.
that. And how many times have you watched a game where you said to yourself, they need to get my fucking cousin the ball? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I love the team, rah rah, and all that shit. But if I watch number so and so get one more target, and my brother, cousin, nephew, son, godson, grandson, whatever the fuck, if he don't get the ball, bro, I'm snapping.
Yep, yep.
Imagine being a family member of Brandon Aiyuk. I've never done, but just the truth, bro. Imagine being a family member of Brandon Aiyuk watching the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying, man. And watching
Dog!
him,
Debo would have came up in the bus. He'd be like, "What's up, y'all? It's too bad we lost the game." I'd be like, "Yeah, what's good, bro? What's good, man? How you doing? You all right? You look like you had a long day today."
yeah,
We
bro.
were chilling. We was chilling. Nah, Brandon ain't getting no targets, as you could see. You had 11 targets, so I'm sure you're tired. Jersey a little dirty, but I'm
Man.
cool. I'm cool. We on the same team and all. Come on, man. I'd have been tight. I'd have been looking at Debo when it came over like, man, oh, man. Can't believe we lost. Bro, I would have been looking at Debo. Boy, I'd have been tight. Like, hey, what's good? What's good, Tyshawn?
That's what I'm about his first name.
Yeah. Well, we got to get going. We got to catch a flight.
Yeah.
Have a good
That's what
year.
I'm
Brandon,
saying.
are you ready? Are you ready to go? Because I'm over
Can't
this
do it.
shit. I can't do this. We got
I
to
can't even
go.
think the fuck right now. That's what I'm
Bro,
saying.
I'm going to tell
Imagine
you.
being BA. Imagine being BA on the field and he's like, fuck, I keep getting open. They ain't looking to me.
That'd have threw me off, bro. That'd have threw me
Right.
off, man. But from a fan standpoint, it's like, damn, we lost. Why did Kyle do this? What was going on at the time? Why didn't Why didn't the offensive line block? And we kind of like looking at it from a game standpoint. But trust me, my brother played, man. Like, I have been in the stands where I could give two shits about that scoreboard. I'm like, man, will you give my brother the ball and stop playing around? I know what's going on in practice. Y'all suck. Give my man the ball. I'm sick of this. Drove all of this way, done paid hotels, flights, expensive ass food in here. I ain't come here for this.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And especially when other teams like Andy Reid, does he like all of a sudden go away from Kelsey? No.
No.
Does he
No.
go away from what he worked? No.
No. And and that's football. Like the Kelsey, let Travis Kelsey let Travis Kelsey stop getting the ball and see how the Kelsey's acting stands. They gonna be cool for the camera looking at us, y'all.
Oh, look at here. Yeah.
Go Isaiah. Yes. Patrick. As soon as they cut that camera off, they gonna be like, what in the fuck? Why are we here? What's going on? Well, they don't give his ass the ball and stop playing around, wasting our time. So
right?
yeah, I'll give that to Brandon. Like if I was personally close to Brandon and I watched the way the Super Bowl played out, I'd be hot. I would be hot. There'd be nothing you could tell me. There would be nothing that you could tell me that would alter my view that my family member was phased out of the game. I'd be like, he's phased out, bro. There's no way. There's no way you go. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, my brother. Like, I get phasing out, let's say someone who's not producing, Debo, for that game. Or say someone's not producing an O-line. I get trying to phase them out or protect them or help them. But you don't have to do that with Aiyuk. That's the thing that kills me. I saw the all 22. That's how I'm going to watch the preseason game today. I got NFL Plus, so you give you that all 22. I finally watched it because, I saw some people talking about that man was getting open. He just doesn't get the targets. So I think he's worth 30, 32 million a year personally. And
definitely.
I think like what Bill Walsh used to do. Oh, you can't guard him? Okay, well, I'm going to keep throwing it to him just because you can't guard him. And as soon as you figure out a way, roll coverage over to try to guard him, cool. Now I'm going to go to Kittle. Cool. Now I'm going to go to Debo. And I still got my running game. So man, I get frustrated just thinking about it. What you said is true and funny, though, but it's just frustrating. This is why I get on Kyle Levy so much. Because are you not watching the game when you see people up in the booth not telling you, hey, man, Debo's not getting open. You might want to do something different. Nah.
I mean, and that's the thing. I don't think that there's I think that there's people there. I don't think that the mechanism is there for it to be there for Kyle. Like I think that Kyle sees things and it's not necessarily, hey, Debo's not getting open, but it's, hey man, could you break away from this game plan and do something else? I don't even think it comes across Kyle's mindset of like, hey man, in these plays that you've put together in your script, Debo is like gonna get the ball 90% of the time. I don't even think it really computes to him kind of like the analytics of what his decisions are. He needs somebody else there. But hey, Bob,
yes,
this is a good one. We got to close this one out, man. Let's get some super chats in. I want to get a couple of super chats in before we roll out.
For sure.
Right here from Sid Brown, $10. Thank you. Got to support what's good. Keep it up, Coach. My man Sid came through. Josh Hill for $10. Thank you, my guy, Coach. Thanks for the great content. And we're going to keep coming. Pause. We're going to keep bringing more content throughout the week. Going to have more shows throughout the week. Definitely going to have me and Tom on Wednesdays. And I have a special show that I'm about to start up. It's a collaboration show on Thursdays. I think me and Grant are going to actually move the coaches meeting to Fridays. But I want to be able to talk to him about that to actually confirm it. But there's a special show that we're going to be doing every Thursday during the season. Of course, my walkthroughs before games and my post games after games. And on Mondays, we are going to start doing film review on Mondays. So I got a special guest that I'm trying to link up on Mondays. So right now, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm excited. And we're ready for the season. My man, Ampty Carolina 199. Thanks, boss. Open the drop now. He pushed back on Wilkes all year. Bosa opened the drop
Bosa.
now. Yeah, Bosa opened the drop now. He pushed back on Wilkes all year. That's the thing. I don't know if he's open to dropping, but I know that Gross Matos is dropping. Leonard Floyd is dropping. They do during practice. They have their on-air period where the offense is on one field running through their script on air, basically on air, and then they other guys put on pennies, offensive guys put on pennies, and they do like their little simulations of walkthrough. Defense has their on-air period closer to the fans where we are. And when they're doing their on-air periods, working through their sets defensively, you can see guys coming off the line of scrimmage, like dropping. So they're working on it. I don't know if Nick has been doing it, but they're working on it. Ben Affleck's double chin. $5 says, "Sup, coach, rank these potential Aiyuk replacements: Juju, Renfro, Cooper, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison, Christian Kirk, Jarvis Landry." All right. If I had to go worst to best, I would go Juju, Renfro, Cup, Kirk, Addison, and then Cortland Sutton. So Cortland Sutton first, Jordan Addison second, Christian Kirk third. Then I would go Cooper, Renfro, and then Juju. Juju because I just think he's washed. Renfro is injury history, but I liked him when he was healthy. Cooper Cup is the same thing. Injury. No, Cooper Rush, I think. Cooper Cup.
Is he
He's not
talking about
saying Cooper
Amari
Cup.
Cooper?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Oh, Amari Cooper. So I would say Amari Cooper over Christian Kirk. So then I would say Juju, Renfro, Christian Kirk, Amari Cooper, Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I would do it. Do that. Also, and then Jarvis Landry. Sorry, Jarvis Landry. I put him last. I don't trust it at all.
Yeah. Juju just got cut, and I think Addison maybe had some legal issues.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Addison just can't stop playing Fast and Furious, man. His butt. He need to slow down. My man Silverado Kev. Hey Kev, I saw your message. I'm gonna get to you, bro. Coach, the harder you find than a brother ducking child support. Coach, harder to find than a brother ducking child support. Hit you on Twitter and in your YouTube comments link. But let's stop reindeer games and get these deals done and get to work. Yo, I got you, bro. I definitely saw your Twitter. And also, guys, the new channel name is The Coach's Huddle. We are done with Bang Bang. It's The Coach's Huddle. No spaces. At The Coach's Huddle. So at TheCoachesHuddle. Coach's Huddle. And that's the new name of the channel, guys. And then lastly, we have James Wilson for $5, bruh. Just $5 just for the hell of it. My guy. Hey, brother Bob. Love you, bruh. We got to get you on here more regularly. You just be popping in, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure out what to do with you, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds
but
good,
hey,
my brother.
I'm excited for this week's game. I don't know if I'm going to pop in. I'm definitely going to do a halftime reaction for the show. So I might pop on during halftime just for like 15, 20 minutes just to go live with you guys and just get reactions of how you guys feel and put in some instant reactions after the first time game. But as always, this is the coach. Stay low and keep your feet moving, bruh. I'll holler at y'all.
Subscribe